Hello and welcome to Energy Connect studio from the heart of the World Utilites Congress 2024 in Abu Dhabi. It is my absolute pleasure to have with us here today Francesco La Camera, Director General of IRENA. Francesco, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
Thanks to you, my pleasure.
IRENA's latest report advocated for tripling renewable capacity by 2030. How do you think, how is IRENA, helping African countries and other developing nations achieve this target?
So, as you say, we have been working and contributing to the COP28 final declaration through our analysis and our call for triple renewable energy in a global environment. Naturally, we are giving priority in our work, especially for the part of the world that needs support for getting the result done. And naturally, Africa is one of our priority. This is the reason that under the leadership of President Ruto of Kenya, we have launched this initiative that is called Accelerated Renewable Energy Partnership for Africa, the so-called APRA. We have today 7 African countries, but we are moving to 10. And we have as partners, together with IRENA, Germany, Denmark, the United States of America, and the UAE. And others are joining. What we are trying to do is to provide 360-degree support. So starting from the planning through the NDCs that should be presented next year before COP30, and the projects. So also work on facilitating the funding of renewable projects for Africa.
What are your expectations for the upcoming COP? And do you think we've made the expected progress from COP28?
We are proceeding in the right direction. There is no doubt. So we are moving to a new energy system that will be largely dominated by renewables and complemented by hydrogen, mainly green hydrogen, and the sustainable use of biomass. But if the direction is clear, what is lacking is the speed and the scale of this transformation. So, for example, last year we have a new record of renewable installed capacity for under 73 gigawatts, 30% more than the previous year. But the fact is that from now to 2030, to get the decreasing of CO2 emission requested by the IPCC, the International Panel on Climate Change, we have to have more than 1,000 gigawatts of renewable energy installed each year from now to 2030. So it's really what we need is a dramatic change in the way we produce and consume energy. And we are insisting that we need to bring a new narrative. So naturally we need infrastructure that are fitting with the new energy system, a decentralized one. So the grids should be interconnected, should be flexible, and also should be coherent with the new trade partners and other. We need policies. So we need a market that is designed for the centralized energy system. For the time being, is not. And then we need also the skills, the professionals, the engineer, but also the workforce. They have to be trained for the new energy system that is coming.
It's important you mentioned decentralized energy system. So how do these projects, like the ones in India, can be replicated in other developing countries to push forward their energy transition?
So what is important, especially for the developed country, if we want to give the example of Africa. So without the proper infrastructure, it will be difficult to attract private capital, because you cannot plug the electricity that you produce into the grid. You cannot receive the tariff that you need for sustaining economically the investment. So that's the reason we are calling, especially on the multilateral financial institutions, to provide this, to work as a priority in Africa, and associating the idea of development of Africa to the idea of the building of the new energy system. So if we work on building the infrastructure needed, the grids, the port, the road that we need for sustain the system. So we create wealth, we create demand for energy. So development for the new energy system that is coming. So this is very important to be understood.
What are the key barriers you see that are preventing achieving, limiting, sorry, the global warming to 1.5?
I say, already tried to say is, first of all, is infrastructure. Because if we don't have the capacity to balance the system and to distribute the electricity, it will be very difficult to have a decentralized system be really effective. So infrastructure is the first thing. Second is the market. Still now we are subsidizing, for example, fossil fuel. So we still have a set of rules that were fitting with the old energy system, not with the new that is coming. So we need to create design a market that works for renewables. And then we have this necessity that a centralized energy system is better for many reasons, including security and other. At the same time, introduce more complexity in the energy system. So we need the institutions that are able to manage this complexity. So the capacity building also for the institutions, strengthening the institution dealing with the energy management, and naturally, as we are saying, professional and skilled workforce. These are the main three areas that we have to concentrate if we want to overcome this barrier existing and moving faster.
So, your booth here cannot be missed at the Congress. So, what are the key messages you want to push forward, and what are you exhibiting here?
Oh, naturally, the main message is to do better and faster. But if we talk about this environment, we have launched an initiative with the utilities called UNESA. We have now, I think, 38 utilities around the world. They have committed to invest. They're committed to have more grids on the ground. I think this is an important initiative because it's really trying to focus to overcome the first main barrier, so the infrastructure. So this Congress, the utility, it was last year that we imagined this new alliance. We are working well, and we see that some result is coming.
Thank you, Francesco. This was an insightful conversation. Thank you for taking the time from your busy schedule.
My pleasure, really.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. For more discussions like this, stay tuned to our website and social media platforms, and I'll be back with more exclusive interviews. Until then, goodbye.